What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. I hope you're all doing well while the red dragon is dominating the skies. Hit that like button, subscribe, you guys. I very much do appreciate everybody for doing that. There's one, I can't find it. I want to say it's DS World. I want to say is the user. Shout out to DS World. If it's not, I know it's close to that. Fanta one time said more like DS Chad. And I like DS World. I think that's the name. I'm going to stop going over the name in case I'm getting it wrong. But shout out to you, my friend, because he doesn't just leave positive comments. I appreciate all the positive comments, that people leave on the YouTube channel, but he leaves comments that are very informational, right? Like and sometimes it's theories, sometimes it's things that I don't necessarily completely agree with, but I could see happening. But sometimes a lot of the time, honestly, it's really good information. He always leaves a little post of something that if somebody read it and they didn't know about Bitcoin Cash, I think it would help them out. So I appreciate you for that, my man. But there was something that you were saying. You were talking about Mt. Gox and how a lot of coins for Bitcoin are going to be released in July, right? That's what your comment was pertaining to. And he said, and I think this is a great idea. This is why I'm bringing it up. This is the second time I brought up some of the points that he's made up. And I'm stealing his thunder, but I'm not stealing it. I'm giving you the credit, my man. And I'm assuming you wouldn't put it on there if you weren't open to the idea of somebody else like reading it and running with it, right? That's exactly what I'm doing here. Is that people, not only did Bitcoin get locked up during this Mt. Gox hack, he was saying that Bitcoin Cash got locked up during this Mt. Gox hack, right? Because Mt. Gox got hacked in 2011. Bitcoin Cash didn't exist until 2017, which means that any cryptos, any Bitcoins that were locked up during the time of the hard fork of the Bitcoin Cash hard fork means that there are Bitcoin Cashes locked up due to the Mt. Gox hack as well, right? Tethered to the same wallets that were that had Bitcoin in them during the split. So his theory was, and I like this theory, is that now that Bitcoin, let me rephrase this. There were people who had their Bitcoins locked up during the Mt. Gox hack who were in favor of Bitcoin shifting to bigger blocks, bigger block sizes, which that's what Bitcoin Cash is, right? It's the better Bitcoin. People hate when I say that, but man, I love saying it, and I love how much people hate whenever I say that, because it's true. It's true, man. You only get like that much hate on something if it's a fact, man. Like, it really is the better Bitcoin. It's not the most popular Bitcoin. No, BTC is the most popular Bitcoin, but Bitcoin Cash undeniably is the better Bitcoin, especially in comparison to BTC. But there are people who have their Bitcoins, their BTCs locked up, who were in favor of big blocks. They might transfer those BTCs, which are now at a higher rate, because right, this happened in 2011. They've got a lot of gains to cash out on. They might sell those and roll it over into Bitcoin Cash, which is at a dramatically lower price relative to what they're selling their BTCs that were locked up for, and buying the BCH that they more or less believed in more so than BTC, as far as like this whole block size war that happens. So I think that's something that's just interesting to think about, is that this July, whenever like not even 10 days from now, right, whenever these coins are unlocked, this could actually promote a buying event for Bitcoin Cash. That, I think that'd be really cool. I think that's an interesting perspective. It's something that I wanted to mention. So one last shout out to the man DS World himself for bringing that up. I think that's an interesting string of thoughts connected together, man. I think that's a interesting way of looking at it. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this video, the TA here. We are at the lowest point in the RSI that we've been in, you guys, for a long time. We still have a higher low overall in this trend. If we close this week green, I mean, the highest that we would be at is like a 43 on the RSI. It's not the prettiest looking trajectory, but it is still a higher low. And being that we have lower lows while still maintaining higher lows in the price is hidden bullish divergence. That is a good thing. What we've done is we've actually found support, hopefully, at the low area of this overall consolidation range. I don't think that we're going to go any lower. We did go a little bit lower than the lowest price that I was thinking we would go to, which is 355. but we went to 344, essentially just below that. That is a little bit lower than I thought we would see, but that's okay. It's oftentimes whenever you see moves like that that you're actually at the low point. I brought this up in my Bitcoin video, man, that the crypto fear and greed index just dropped off a cliff. We went from a 74 to a 30 in less than a week's time, guys. That's nuts. That's insane. What is this? Is this? Oh, it's an ad. I was like, what? Anyways, I think it's nuts that we dropped that much when today we're already up, right? We've engulfed most of yesterday's losses. We only dropped 5% for Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin itself didn't even drop a full 5%. It actually dropped more than BCH did yesterday. That's kind of cool. BCH held up better than BTC did, right? I hope none of the Dragon Riders out there are getting discouraged. If you're getting discouraged, I hope over the days, over the weeks, you'll become encouraged. You'll see that this was it. This was the low, man. I've been confident at various points that the low was in, but man, I don't think we can go any lower. I mean, I'm saying that obviously we can go lower, but I think that was it. I really do think that was it. I think that was the low. And please, nobody, whenever we do pump up from here, whenever we see a move that goes all the way up to about $500, please nobody be like, you were right, you called the low, because I absolutely did not. I absolutely did not. I thought this was the low. I thought this was the low. I thought that was the low. And here we are on our fourth attempt. We're going to get it right one of these times. This is the low, you guys. I do think we're going to still see that V-shaped recovery that I've been calling for Bitcoin Cash since we were at this low here. I still think that we will. Even over here, whenever I was saying that I thought we could go up, I did say that we might go down a little bit. This is a little bit more than I thought we would go down. That wasn't the move that I was expecting. I was expecting a V-shaped recovery, but I more addressed this to hopefully keep people from panicking if we didn't do what I was expecting, right? If we went down, to say, hey, it's okay. We're at the relative lows of this range. We have a higher low overall. Like, it's not a big deal. It's okay, right? And we actually do, I think, have bullish divergence. No, we don't. It's slightly, sometimes this is actually, it's not bullish divergence, but sometimes this is a good sign in itself too, because it's almost like a double bottom and you have a slightly lower low in the RSI, and now you're already getting out of the oversold zone. You don't need divergence to end a move, right? Oftentimes, maybe not oftentimes, but there's a good bit of times where you'll get that slightly higher high, right? Where the bearish divergence, it's there, but then it finally goes away, and that's when you dump. You'll get that slightly higher low, and then once that goes away, you get that slightly lower low. When the bearish or the bullish divergence goes away, that's when you pump, and that could be exactly what this is here. We didn't close below that day. We got below it, but we didn't close below it. I don't know. I think it's fine. I do think we're going to move up, and really, I would assume sometime soon, you guys, maybe over the next week or two, I would assume that we're going to make this move back up. Probably within the first week of July, we'll be up at around $500 is my thoughts. We're at $375 now. Get it while it's hot, man. Prices will not be here forever. It's even lower. My most recent purchase on Bitcoin Cash is at 390. So 390. I've been slurring my words. I'm completely sober. I don't know what that's about, but I've been slurring my words all night. The lowest point we had was 344. If anybody bought yesterday, you bought even at the highest, you bought at lower prices than I did. So if you want to outpace me on my most recent purchase, perfect time to buy. That's what I keep telling people, right? That's like I don't know if that's an incentive to buy, because like, who am I? What do I matter? I probably don't even hold a significant amount of Bitcoin Cash compared to like some of the big dogs. Maybe compared to like the average person holding Bitcoin Cash, sure, but not like, it's nothing crazy, right? It is my biggest hold, but it's nothing like, I'm not holding millions of dollars of Bitcoin Cash. I wish I was. I would if I could. Soon enough, it will be, right? And soon enough, for more than just me, it will be worth a lot of money. But at least I hope that for everybody. But back to the main point is that I do think this is a perfect area to buy. This is not financial advice, but man, it should be. It really should be. This is 376. If I was a financial advisor, I'd be calling you, your grandmother, your ex-girlfriend, or maybe your ex, maybe not, if you aren't comfortable with that. I would call people all over the place and tell them, you need to be buying this. And I actually do, you guys. I'm not even kidding. When I go to deposit money at the bank, whenever I go get food at a restaurant somewhere, I will literally tell people, I'm like a crypto evangelist, and I've said this before, I'm like the Mormon knocking at your door. No hate to the Mormons. We love you. I don't know if there's any out here. Make yourself known. Shout out in the comments if you're a Mormon. But like a Mormon or a Jehovah's Witness knocking on the door of someone's home and trying to talk about their Lord and Savior, or talk about their beliefs, right? I'm like that, but with crypto. I am that, no offense, annoying voice. And I say no offense because I know I'm probably annoying people with this stuff, but I will talk about it to the people that I see regularly. I will try to get them to buy, and that's not because I'm trying to. It's not some pyramid scheme. I'm trying to get people below my branch and be above them. No, it's because I know people, especially the people that I interact with daily. I feel for them. I feel for everybody, but like I feel for people that I interact with personally more. Obviously, I think that's normal. So much so that I want their life financially to improve as well, right? My life's going to improve financially. I know crypto's going to pump. I mean, nobody knows. Nobody knows anything, right? We don't know for sure, but I very strongly do believe crypto's going to go up. This isn't my first rodeo. This is my third bull cycle. Yes, my third bull cycle. I've been doing technical analysis for over 7 years. I've been in crypto since 2015. This isn't the end of it, guys. We've got a lot more growth to go. And most people, unfortunately, in my experience, the people that I'm talking to crypto about, they actually won't be interested in buying. I'll be telling them about it here. I'll be telling them about it here, and I'm telling them about it now. They won't be interested in buying until we're up here, right? And that's when it's like, sure, I think we'll grow more, but dude, you're at risky points now. So all I'm trying to say, guys, all that stemmed from the idea that this is a perfect area to buy. We're looking really good. I need to post this video before we turn this week into a green week. We have 5 days and 20 hours left in this week. We have 6 days left in this week, you guys. And already, compared to last week, we have over half last week's volume. We're on track right now, you guys, to outpace volume from any of these weeks, basically since April. Like we might see this week might be the most volume we've seen in Bitcoin Cash coming off of a low, finding support, turning green would be nice. We're only 1.11% down. We have 6 days left to go, essentially. This might be not only a significant bouncing area, but a significant area based on volume too, to solidify that this is the low. I'm calling for it right now. I mean, this isn't really a call that you can make with technical analysis, but maybe it is, I guess. I'm going off the idea that we bounce here and we have some kind of growth and more volume coming in, and that we've already seen this much volume in a day's time. I think we're going to see the most volume that we've seen since April, if not since March, like genuinely, probably April. I don't know if we'll see more volume than this month here. I don't know if we'll see that, but more volume than anything here, right? And moving up. I really do think that over the days, over the weeks, we're going to be seeing a V-shaped recovery. I would expect if we went down this slow that not only would we go up just as fast, but we would go up faster. And I don't know, I can't flip this line around. I don't know how to do that. So something in the form of a V-shaped recovery is what I'm expecting, up to that, let's say $500 to $530 level. It's the same analysis as it was here, right? It hasn't changed. Just because we moved down here, it hasn't changed. Prove me wrong. If you want to prove me wrong and you want me to be worried that we're going to go lower, this is what we need to see. Let's see here. Let's see, from a low point to a high point, we would need to break $335. If we can close below $335 on a weekly basis or multiple days, then I would be concerned that we see prices below $300 again. Until then, from our recent low at $344, essentially, a lower price at $335 is not that concerning to me, right? So I don't know if we're going to find support on the 1618. I don't know if we're going to go down there. I personally do believe this is the low, at the risk of jinxing the whole market and the whole head dragon itself, man. I'm hoping that we don't. Man, today closing above the 1272 would really be nice. Rejected that 100 so many times. I feel like I should have seen it going lower. I just didn't want to see it going lower, right? I was calling for it to go up higher, but whatever. You live and you learn, or you don't and you die. That's just how it is sometimes. But closing above the 1272 today would be a nice thing to do. We're already up above it, so just keep growing, keep going. If we can get above the 100, even better. And when we close above this 886, that would be very encouraging. I would love to see that. The real test, in my opinion, based off of just this fib extension here, would be closing above $435 to $444, closing above this range here. The 618 specifically at about $445 there. If we can close above that, then that really does cement this as the low, in my opinion. We've got 1, 2, 3 tasks to complete. On that third one, we get certification validation that we are seeing exactly what we need to see. And I think as the days go on, you guys, as the weeks go on, it'll just become more and more obvious that this is the low. I did a long-term analysis for Bitcoin, so let's do a long-term analysis for Bitcoin Cash too. I'm in the mood. I got a little bit of time left, right? Let's look at this monthly here. not like a little bit of time. I can make the video as long as I want, but just like a little bit of time left of my evening so that I can get sleep, proper sleep. Look at this, man. It's so beautiful. 61869, we hit it. I talk about this all for everybody who's been watching my channel for the last month, for the last week, for the last year. You guys have all, you've had to have seen me talk about the interaction with the 618, right? Whenever you come up to the 618, if you find resistance on it, odds are you're going to find support on either the 0.5 or the 382. And the 382 is the more likely of the two. I just wouldn't assume that we'd go back below this high, so it makes sense to find support right here at the 0.5. And we actually did. We were, I mean, potentially, if we close right here, we'd be closing right at the 0.5. If we move up over the next 6 days more, it'll look like we found support right here at the 0.5. Very common maneuver from going from this area to finding support in this area, of which we're at the top of it nonetheless, but we're at the top of this area too. So finding support here and then moving up, the next target areas would be at a minimum, the next target areas that we have on a monthly basis are $875 at a minimum to $1,000, let's call it $1,200, $1,200 at a maximum, just below $1,200 to be completely fair. That's our next target range right up here, okay? That could be where we find our next high. Perhaps we go higher, but genuinely, you guys, targets at above $1,000 are on the horizon for Bitcoin Cash. This is on a monthly basis, so it could, you know, before we see prices that are above $875, below $1,200, before we see that range come into effect, it could be August, September, right? Maybe July, but I think more likely it'll be like August or September, probably August that we're up here, is what I'm thinking. We'll probably make that move in July coming up, right? I think over the coming days and weeks, we'll be in the month of July, and we will start this move up, right? We're technically starting it now. I don't know if I'm confident as to when we're going to break this high. We could break the high right there, that recent high at $720. We could break that sometime next month. If we did in July, I would assume it would be at the end of July, not in the beginning, but the end, like probably this time, how it's the 24th, 25th of June. It would be that time frame for in July, like the 20th to the 30th, something like that. That's my thoughts, but I would actually personally expect that August is when we see this, right? Maybe as early as July, like late July, we break this, but August is whenever we see that target area. That's my thoughts. But long term, going out even further than that, right? Let's go for the cycle high. The cycle high, I would expect, would be somewhere between the expected range, which from an all-time high to an all-time low perspective would give us a range at the 1272 to the 1618. That's at $52.3 thousand to $13,000, okay? Even at a minimum, that number might seem ridiculous to some people. At a minimum, maybe there's some of you out there who are like, that's not enough. Me, I'm in that boat if that's not enough. This number to me definitely seems ridiculous. The ridiculous can happen. I just want to say the ridiculous absolutely can happen. I would not take the bet, and I say this all the time, this is the best way for me to phrase it, is if somebody was to bet me, I'll bet you X amount of dollars that this happens. That would mean that I would have to bet that this doesn't happen. I wouldn't take that bet. I really don't think it's going to happen, but this is Bitcoin Cash, this is crypto, crazy things can happen. I would keep it on the radar, but not expect it, okay? Just to be fair. So being that I'm not expecting it, this is the actual range that I'm focusing on personally. Again, aware of this, right? Just as I'm aware of lower prices even, but not expecting it, okay? The range would be $13,000 to $23,200. That's the given range that we have as far as where I think where I think Bitcoin Cash is going to top off. That would be, you know, from here, from the current price at about $377, that'd be a growth of about 3,287%. In other words, that's about a 34x to a, and this is actually where I think it's going to go. I do think it's going to go up to 23K, 20K, 25K, somewhere in that range. That would be from the current price. That would be a 61X. You guys, I want to buy more. Who wants to buy my car? Who wants to buy my wife's car? I am not above feet pics, you guys. 61X from the current price for Bitcoin Cash. That's awesome. We are past the halving for Bitcoin Cash and for BTC, right? And these kind of gains are still on the table. This is insane, man. This is as scary, as emotional as this past 24 hours might have been for some people. All it's done has brought opportunity, right? And that opportunity will be short-lived. It will be very short-lived. If anybody's looking to buy if you're looking to buy crypto or Bitcoin Cash specifically, this might be as good of a point as any, man. Again, it's not financial advice. Do what you want. It's your money, right? But if we go lower than here, it won't be by much. I don't think we'll go lower than that low. And if we go higher than here, I mean, we've got the sky to reach, right? We are hopping on our dragons and we are reaching for the sky. And that's all I got to say, man. When do I think that this is going to happen? When do I think that we're going to see prices above 13K, around 20 to 25K? I would assume it's going to be sometime in 2025. It could be the end of 2025. It could be the beginning of 2025. We don't know. But I do think that it will be sometime in, I personally think it'll be the end of 2025, at least the second half of 2025. I'm looking at October specifically for Bitcoin BTC. Bitcoin Cash did top off earlier than Bitcoin did last time. It happened in May 2021. June, July, August, September, October, November. That was 6 months before Bitcoin topped off. But this was during the first peak. This was at the end of Bitcoin's bull market. So I don't think we're going to see two peaks this cycle for BTC. So I really do think it'll be October. Maybe, let's say, I would say as early as July to maybe as late as December of 2025 that we would see these prices up around 20K. But that remains to be seen. The specific month, which I would not take the bet saying I bet it will end in October. This is when we're going to top. I wouldn't even say I'm very confident. I'm pretty confident that it would be October. A lot of things point to that, but I wouldn't take that bet because it's a time analysis, and time analysis is hard, man. I mean, it could be the end of September, which is close to October, but not quite there. It could be the beginning of November. You know what I mean? It might not even be. It might be July. Like who really knows? But I am calling for October. That is my personal belief. October of 2025 is when I think that's going to happen. And with that, I leave you. So hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more. We're at prime buying opportunities, and it's only going to get less prime as it goes on, right? Prime buying opportunities, less prime buying opportunities, even less so. I don't know, and I don't believe that when we get this V-shaped recovery, I don't believe we're just going to continue. I do believe that we'll find resistance here at 500 to 530, right? That much of the analysis has stayed the same. I just wanted to reinforce that idea, but I really do think we're about to see a V-shaped recovery. But time will tell. We'll see how it goes. Hit that like button one last time. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.